Today, we will take a look at the weighted average cost of capital calculation. The purpose of the WACC calculation is to determine the weighted average cost of capital. The weighted average cost of capital represents the interest rate that forms the so-called discount rate, which is the rate used for discounting in the calculation of present value, meaning the calculation of the present value of a series of future payments. The financing of projects or investments that generate future cash flows typically consists of both debt and equity. Using the WACC, we can calculate a single interest rate that takes into account both the cost of equity and the cost of debt. These costs represent the minimum required return for the capital providers. This minimum return is then used to discount the future cash flows to determine their present value, allowing us to make an informed decision on whether the project is worthwhile. The formula for calculating the WACC is as follows: equal sign weight of debt times cost of debt times 1 minus tax rate plus weight of equity times cost of equity. Multiplying the cost of debt by 1 minus tax rate is referred to as the tax shield, which reduces our tax liability since the interest paid on debt is usually tax deductible. Additionally, it is important to mention that equity returns are not traditional interest rates like debt interest, but rather the return on equity required by equity holders, such as shareholders. Alright, that's the theory. Let's look at an example to properly understand the WACC. We are tasked with determining the weighted average cost of capital for the following capital structure. Our debt is 60%, while our equity is 40%. The cost of equity is 13%, and the cost of debt is 5%. Lastly, we are dealing with a tax rate of 35%. Using the formula, we get 0.60 for the weight of debt, 60%, times 0.05 for the cost of debt, 5% times 1 minus 0.35 tax rate of 35% plus 0.40 for the weight of equity, 40%, times 0.13 for the cost of equity, 13%. As a result, we get a weighted average cost of capital of 7.15%. This percentage represents our discount rate for determining the value of our project. We hope this video has helped you understand the topic of the weighted average cost of capital. See you next time and have a good one.